everyone. Before we get into this evening's live, I would like to go over a quick overview of what is transpiring at this very moment and why I decided to do a live. Earlier this morning, for anybody who was in the live, watched the live after, as it's got almost 3,000 views in totality. Bitcoin, we talked about the liquidation zone on the Bitcoin heat signature map, or the heat liquidation map, on how we could get up and how we should get up over 106,000. And we had an awfully lot of liquidations to go through. Well, while we were on the air earlier, we got up to about 103,400, and we were able to take out and see about $3 billion worth of liquidity that got taken out in shorts. But we seen a huge number starting to pile up as we got up over 105 and closer to 106. And then if we took out all-time highs, we were starting to stack up somewhere between another $6 to $8 billion, depending on how high you take it, to take out that liquidity. We've taken out an awfully lot of those liquidity zones, and now we'll see what's above. We'll see what the possibilities are, and we'll see, did we tap out here? Did we finish what we were trying to do with Bitcoin? Because it came up to the technical target, the first tier that we were talking about earlier. Now the only thing left on my chart is the actual technical target out of the cup and handle on Bitcoin. Now it's taken out that 106,000 and some change. I'll go to that chart once we do the intro. We've got XRP right now that had a nice weekly close here. Weekly candle close here just about an hour and 25 minutes ago. So I was very happy to see how that transpired as we stayed on the right side of town to finish off this dragon pattern, which you really wanted to have this close over the old pattern resistance as we pushed off the tail of the dragon. And now the consolidation is basically just the tail elongating now until we get the surge, if it's meant to happen. Now, if we do fall below, we'll look at those scenarios as well. But a good sign here right out the gate is that Ethereum is surging right now, up over 4,000 to start the flip of the clock. And as I've said earlier, a lot of people ask me what's a big signal for you, Tom, that alt season is getting closer. First, there's got to be two things simultaneously. It's not going to happen initially. First, Bitcoin's going to continue to do its surging, but all of a sudden Ethereum's going to start dominating in some of the money, and we'll see Ethereum over that 4,000, and then ultimately the number for for Ethereum would be to get over that 4,023. We've tapped it now. We've tapped that, and then we just need to clear this area where we created all-time high. So I would just say that was the target right there of 4,093. Actually, let's go back in the pattern just to make sure that there wasn't a slightly higher number. Just want to make sure here, because now we're getting into the nitty-gritty. Okay, so right here. We'd have to get over this number, and that would be, not that we're in an alt season, but we get over, not over that. That would signify basically a super cycle if we get over that. But to get over 4,023 initially, but I want to raise it to here only because we finished my little target. But this is the cycle high. If we get over this would, to me, open up another round. And it wouldn't necessarily open up the traditional alt season. But if Ethereum's got an 18% move in it to come up to that 4,879 to touch all-time highs, because right now, I know the technical target on Ethereum, if it breaks out like it has out of this long-term formation, we've already broke out of it. I already know the technical target. We've measured it before. Right now, we have a technical target to 7,667. So that's why getting over this 4,120 right now, well, it was lower than that. I just moved it for the cycle high, was so important for me. Now we've got a technical target right now, as long as it plays true, and that far surpasses the all-time highs of Ethereum. So, and then going back in time, for anybody who's been watching, and I don't even know how many people are going to be here this Sunday, football's on, and I honestly just am coming on because I like to do this. So going back some time, we talked about how there was a potential triple bottom, broadening wedge, and how did it get moved down? I don't know what's going on. Oh, because it broke out now. See, I did it down here. If I go into the weekly, it'll look better. But we talked about the potential triple bottom. And then I said that we were in a broadening wedge. Oh, yeah, that's how it was right there. And now look how it's broke up. That was all the way down here when we were talking about that. That is so crazy. That is so crazy. Look how far this has come. This has come up 30%, $900 for Ethereum since we started, over 1,000. I remember it like it was yesterday we were talking about those in the live. But that would be a big signal. But Ethereum right now is actually, let me put this back because I want to make sure when I go through this, because this tapped the technical target that we had up here, and that's a big point for me. So nice V-shaped recovery, looks like a nice inverse head and shoulders. Inverse right shoulder is starting to play out as we speak, so I don't want to move that yet. I just want it to stay because that was actually the resistance that it was supposed to come up to, and now it hit. So that'll be something big. XRP, we're going to talk very deeply about this. We'll look at the weekly candle close, and then we'll also look at the Bitcoin heat liquidation map to see exactly how many people ended up losing their totality of their leverage trades and got liquidated. So please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube will recommend this. If you appreciate this at any time during the live, if it's not hitting home, obviously don't hit the like button. In fact, you always have the option to hit the dislike button, and I would encourage it if I'm not hitting that mark. Other than that, positivity over negativity, helpful, not hurtful, kindness over rudeness, and I want to be all inclusive. We don't forget to give thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ in this community. So we also have to show respect, integrity, and humility towards each other. So good evening. 8:29 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Sunday, December 15th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Only for 2 more days you'll be able to hear me say this as a 40-year-old, as my 41st birthday is in 2 short days on December 17th. I know what a painful spot to be in at a birthday. 1 week before Christmas Eve, and 1 week and 1 day before Christmas. So oftentimes being overlooked on Christmas. Oh, it's painful sometimes, or on your birthday. But now I've always liked giving gifts, so it's honestly it's a blessing in disguise. And also JW, if you're in the audience, I'll turn the comments on. JW, let's see if I see JW. Let's see. Tom got as good as an understatement. Yes, indeed. Velo is surging right now. We'll look at Velo for sure. I gotta go into the comment real quick because I want to see if I see JW here right now. There's a reason why, because let's see. But Velo, yeah, Velo's doing excellent. Nick, thank you so much for the $1.99 YouTube super chat. I greatly appreciate that, my friend. Much appreciate that generosity. I don't see JW in here yet. Don't see JW, but I'm going back to an old thing I used to do. Jorge, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3 months plus with the XP Meteor and being a very trusted mod. Also on TikTok, I seen him on there, and a mod there too, which is nice. Noah, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XP 589 Moon Badge. Crazy Paul, welcome in, thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XP Meteor. Bob Bertner, Mark Casson, thank you both for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. Love it. Krango and Fernando, along with Alice Anthony, thank you, all 3 of you, for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge and me being abducted by aliens. I felt like we were losing that personable feel. And I want to make sure to honor the ones who are in Tom's Army, and I want to stay very closely connected. That's the vow I'm making for 25. We're going to get closer, not get pushed apart. We need to become closer in the XRP community, so that's my vow. I'm gonna tighten the wounds of the XRP community. John Patak, welcome, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Jorge and Jordan, thank you both for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XRP Meteor. Ellie, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your second month with Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. I greatly appreciate that show of support, everybody. Thank you so much. Time for Garlinghouse to turn the bots off. I know. They got to do something about this. Oh, you're on TikTok, Leviathan. That's awesome to put some of the faces, Ellie. I've seen you on there a couple times. Excellent. Anti-communist says, you're a kid. I'm old enough to be your dad. Are you talking to me, anti-communist? Are you talking to me? Unless you're talking to somebody in chat. Right now, XLM's flipped into the positive side here all of a sudden on the flip of the clock, up over 43 cents, which is nice to see. But I'd like to turn my attention. Hey, JW, beautiful. I was looking for you when I started. Man and his dog, thank you so much for renewing in Tom's Army for your 4th month with the emoji badge, the XRP Meteor. Excellent. Michael, welcome in. It's always good to see you in here, buddy. I always love seeing your name. Small world because my dad, where he grew up, and my cousin's grandpa, actually, Michael knows, well, when he was alive, they both passed away, the grandma and grandpa that I knew. But Michael, thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. I greatly appreciate that. And Driver, thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 3 years with the XRP Diamond Hands Badge. Greatly appreciate that. 1970 Legend says, member for 4 months. Excellent. Thank you for continuing in Tom's Army. Go Bucksy says, you know, I will say one thing about Ohio State. You got to not be so soft. You know, when Texas planted the flag on our field, we took it like men. And we just took our aggression out on Ohio State, but Ohio State wants to make a bill so that it'd be a felony. You're never going to win a title if you are a pansy. No offense. So I bought a jersey, or I bought a sweatshirt for me and my brother. My brother for Christmas. Hopefully he's not listening. It's a shirt that shows the Michigan planting the flag on Ohio State's field. It's pretty clever. So that's my present to old Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing on Christmas. But all fair and fair because I'm rooting for Ohio State and Oregon to win the national championship, one or the other, or Indiana. I don't really care which one. Or Penn State. Honestly, I don't care. As long as the Big Ten wins it and we shove it up the SEC's, you know what? Couldn't care less. Ben Patterson, thanks for tuning in and donating $5. What's going on with all these drones is just a sideshow. Oh, I agree with that. Let me see this comment. I gotta do justice. But hopefully you'll feel more personable feeling this live because I want to bring that more personable feeling back. I don't care if people have to wait through me thanking my audience who are generous. He says, Tom, what the hell is going on with the drones? Is it just a sideshow to distract us from crypto? Oh, it's more than just the drones thing. I talked about it because Julie, my significant other, and I got to get to one thing first though before I forget. But I'll finish the drone thing, and then I got to get to something. JW's here, and I really have to thank JW. So it is a distraction, but there's one of two scenarios that are playing out right now. And one, there was and I don't want to scare anybody, but there was a nuclear, you know what, war that went missing on the other side of the world. They lost track, found its way over here. And now it's said that, you know, they might be doing that. I call BS on that theory. You know why? Because the drones are all over the world. So what does that have to do with the USA? So I call BS on that theory. Now, the one theory that bothers me is I know that alien life form, it's not, I don't believe what most people do. I think it's a dimensional thing, and I don't want to talk about it. But I think CERN has a lot to do with it. And if these drones are what I'm thinking, it's just the beginning of Project Bluebeam, and it's not going to be a fun time around here in 25. So, but we won't get into that. I may start a channel on truth just to talk about the truth, but I can't do it here on YouTube or I'll get banned. So, Syrian, thank you so much for continuing in Tom's Army for a 5th month with the XRP Meteor. I love it. Thanks for all you do, Tom. Diamond Hands. Oh, no, thanks for all you do, Syrian. A very trusted mod. I can't believe it's already been 5 months. I feel like yesterday. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Mike, I know we do. I've heard the way you talk in my chat. That's why I was hoping a couple years ago that you'd be around when it was time. You're one of the ones, and you are here. But JW, real quick. And JW sent me a Christmas card. And I don't know if I'm allowed to read the Christmas card to the audience. But I believe what he put in here is so true for most of the audience. That we all came together for a reason on this great journey. So I'll wait and see if JW says I can read what he put. Or just the card in general that he picked out. But it has a big defined message here. He says it's all good. Excellent. Whoa. 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 Timothy. Holy smokes. I haven't had a legendary supporter since early 2023. For anybody who's wondering, that's a $99.99 donation. Timothy, it's up to you, my friend. They're not a donation. In Tom's Army, he's paying the highest thing. That's incredible. Timothy, I'm going to send, and this is up to you, One person's taken me up on it. Because you did that, send me an email. And I know you're in the USA. Send me your address and I will send you an XRP token. I am still honoring that to this day. It's part of the legendary agreement. And every single month you do it, I will send an XRP thing. Unless you decline. Some people have declined and they said they were just paying it forward. But I have sent them out. And some people still have them. So I think that's really cool, my friend. Holy crap. Oh, man. That's a big one. So let me read this real quick. So, hell no, I accept. Excellent. So you've seen my strutregalia@gmail.com. Please email me, Timothy, and just tell me it's you. And honestly, every single month that it renews, if you send me an email, I'll send you a different one until I run out of ones I can send you. I'm not even joking. And they range anywhere from $12 to $27 plus shipping. Oh, and I think it's a great thing. You're showing me support, and you can get a little collector item every single month. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I think it is. It's a good way for us to bond. I do. I'm not looking to get rich off my audience. I'm looking to give back along the way. When it comes to the great, and this is from JW, when it comes to the great people in my life, I know there's nothing random or chance about it. I believe there's a bigger purpose at work and a reason why we're walking alongside each other. You're one of those people I feel like I was meant to know. I'm grateful life brought our paths together and keeps bringing the two of us closer. Merry Christmas. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to read this. He said, thank you to the whole family for not only sharing time with me, but also the 30,000 plus people all over this great land. So he obviously sent this just after the 30,000, which that shows like it got here in a pretty good amount of time. I'm glad it got here. He sent it in code too in a comment that said very strategically to expect it. I didn't know what it was. But he said, I'm grateful life brought our paths together and keeps bringing the two of us closer. Merry Christmas, JW, the journey continues. And he goes up on my wall. So he's on my wall. Some of you have sent past Christmas cards that are on my wall. So that was the one Christmas card this year I got from the audience that I thought was really cool. Although I must say I didn't talk about it this year, but I thought it was really cool. So next year, for anybody who's back here at this time, me and Julie are going to be passing out Christmas cards again. But I was going to talk to Julie because I think something special would be if me and Julie, well, if you're in the USA, if we can do it. Sometimes it's hard to do it outside the USA. But we could send out Valentine's cards. I think that would be different. Instead of Christmas cards, we'll send out Valentine's card for unity. I think it would be cool for the audience. The love has to circulate somehow, right? Hey, thank you, Bob. I appreciate that. And thanks for being in Time Zone for 6 months plus. So let's get through this now. So here's some good stuff. XRP continues to be on the right side of this right now. Continues to be on the right side. We're trying to say we're either breaking out of that descending wedge. I like this, the way to look at it this better, just in case we want to speculate that it's a channel or a wedge. I think it gets a compelling argument here that we're breaking out of a wedge. Now, I proposition this by saying, even though we're very bullish, we might still, what do I always say? We get that loving and feeling and adaptive feeling. Hey, the support uptrend, support uptrend, support uptrend. So, and support uptrend. Now, it might just come to the support uptrend, and right now it's about $2. What is that? Because it's getting higher now. What is this support uptrend if it were to go? Yeah, see, now it's only 236, maybe 234, so it continues to move higher. So as long as that uptrend stays intact, we are really bullish, but it's getting dangerously close to a breakout point in this dragon pattern. And I'm only going to show up for a brief second, but I did this live on air earlier to superimpose the pattern. And that's the dragon pattern. And when I did it a few days ago, this is what it looked like. So that's how it looked a couple days ago. And then when you broke it into today, we did it live on air. We superimposed it. And that's what it looks like into today's update. Actually, it was a little bit lower now. Now it's up to actually it was about 243 earlier, wasn't it? So that's where we're sitting right now. So that dragon pattern is absolutely playing out. And then on the tail formation, what you're looking for bullish confirmation is that the tail forms on that initial push up. When you do this, after the consolidation, the tail is now above the consolidation. And that's exactly what's going on. So I haven't been able to talk about the dragon pattern very often, but it's really cool to be able to do it. But the other thing is I've talked about, even if this is bearish, that this doesn't look like a real W to me. That just looked like that short-term nonsense that a lot of people try to pass off. For a pattern that's this big, it makes a lot more sense for it to come up here if it's bearish. And I mean, look at that. That would be a true Batman top, M topping reversal if it's bearish. So I believe regardless, we have to come up there, even if we're bearish. That's all. That's been my point this whole time. But until Bitcoin hit 122,000, I'm not worried. You know what I'm saying? XRP hasn't even hit its technical target here of $5.49. And I've got much bigger ambitions here for XRP. It don't just stop there. I know what I was buying years ago. And I knew there was only a matter of time before we lost that opportunity. I'm waiting for this massive cup to form, the all-time cup I call it, which also formed a W. I'm waiting for the all-time cup. And some people are like, Tom, you're much more bullish these days and you're much more positive. Of course I am. We're the freaking bona fide bull market. I told my entire audience I would turn into this happy, gleeful, most positive person you could meet as long as we got above $1.37 and held it, because that was the cup and handle breakout target. Because I knew that would bona fide and confirm a bull market. And then the next step was, yeah, I know $1.98 was 2021 high, which I did not think we were going to break through so quickly. I thought we were going to hit resistance, come back down a little bit, get stuck there, dick around for a little bit, and then finally break through. XRP didn't do that. It not only broke over that $1.98 2021 high, it stopped along the way, backed up, teabagged it not once, not twice, but 3 times, and then uppercutted right through and then went to all-time, hit levels we haven't seen in some time. Just to come back around and double tap to add insult to injury, and then it broke out again. So the first target was 222 after it made it that bullish. But now because it back tested and held the 2021 resistance, so I always look at it like this. If you've got a big cycle resistance like 2021, you're going to have to back test it to confirm that this is a real rally. Remember 2021, how we got beat up by $2 and in like 3 weeks it was back below $1? And then like 2 months later, we were back to like I mean, it was ridiculous. And we sat there for several years. That's what we had to make sure we were avoiding here, and we did. We did. The fact that in the history of my show, for 4 years I've been here in March, and I've never missed a day. Not one iota. And I'm proud of that. And so am I of all of you, because some of you have been here every single day for almost 4 years. Every single day, no matter what. And you're in this very audience today. Or in this very live. But I've been waiting for this. Waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and looking for deals and waiting and waiting and looking for steals and waiting and waiting and looking for, I've been waiting, but I've been patient. And every time an opportunity comes up, I try to talk about it. Hell, I even talked about something like outside of the ordinary with some of these, just outside of the realm of our own thinking, like Ethereum Classic, and just looking at Ethereum and looking at what the relevance of those are. But like, I'm happy about Velo. Don't get me wrong. Velo's had a great day. We've been waiting for Velo to finally break this margin here for a while. There's no doubt about it. And I'm very happy that it finally came up to this first tier. And we've talked about it, how good of a deal it was at 009. So now yet again, we're getting another one that's starting to X on us here a little bit. Velo's come up here. Now it's up a couple 100%. Easy. Almost getting closer to 300. But it came up to that first zero resistance. Remember? Are we finally going to come up to this resistance? I said it in the live earlier today. Can we finally come up here already and hit that 3.6 cents so we can finally get on with 4.1? Because now we theoretically hit 3.6 and we can back test a possible area that it's not important no more. Now we can get rid of that garbage. Right? Now we're starting to work. We can get rid of that garbage. Now we're actually starting to... Oh, wait a minute. Did I get rid of the wrong garbage? I might. Nope. See, we're starting to work now. Starting to work. We can get rid of... See? We're starting to work. Now, where's this uptrend? Now I'm getting excited here for Velo. Although it has filled this entire gap now. And you guys will see how I do this. If you're new, guys and gals, and believe it or not, over 30,000 people, and we're still holding 11.2% of my audience is female. The average in that category on YouTube for what I do is between 3 and, like, high end is 3 or 4%. for the female audience. Now, I'd like to think it's my general good looks and charm, but it could be just dumb luck. You know, I come on more than most people, and, you know. But anyhow, if this breaks out, Nunez says, I'm female. Thank you, love. See? Adding to that. I'm proud of my female audience for being here. I truly am. Michael, thank you for the $1.99 donation. Velo and Kava is suspended. Can't deposit or withdraw. Will this pass or am I screwed? See, I've often proclaimed if you're doing it on HOTCOIN, you're basically holding for the cycle. It's not like you're holding it forever. You're not bound to hold it forever. My whole goal is, yeah, because I can't take IOTA off of there either. The point is I'm able to at least hold it for now. And in time, it might open back up. But if this rally gets to a point where it takes a cool-off period, I have no problem selling IOTA into XRP, getting it off the exchange once I find a different one, and just rebuying it. It doesn't change my average. I don't really care what anybody says. I know what I bought, and I just transfer it back over. And then if it's off by like 30 or 40 or 50 or even $100, I'll pay the difference just so I'll own my same shares, but I'll get it to another spot if I can find a way. I don't worry about that part of it. But right now I have no anticipation of selling, so, you know, I kind of let it work out. But yeah, that's a pain in the you-know-what. So that's just what I do. You know, I'm not saying that's for everybody. It does piss me off that I have to do it. But hey, I learned that way the hard way, that you have to do what you have to do when the Uphold situation happens. So, you know, you just got to do what you got to do. And like I said, with HOTCOIN, remember on MEXC, I was all for it. And then I started to see that they were going to get rid of the USA, and I gave us a heads up, and we got out of there before anything bad started happening to the USA. If I ever hear it on HOTCOIN, if I ever see it on BITUNIX, I'll say the exact same thing. The only one that I never expect anything to go wrong because of the way it's set up. Well, one, I don't ever expect anything with BITUNIX. That's one that I would be stunned if anything went wrong. HOTCOIN, I don't think it will. But, you know, you always have your suspicions of certain places, you know, certain areas. But I do have a lot of confidence in their support that I've received. So that is a step up. But I'll always, you know, I always try to tell, not always, I do. Because I know if my money's not safe, it's not going to be safe for my audience. But right now, the ones that I say are the ones that I trust. That's how I've always been. If they give me a reason not to, so be it. There was one day that I thought Uphold was good. They gave me a reason not to believe them. Somebody in the audience actually gave me that reason, and they were dead on, and I'm glad that we did what we did. Otherwise, I'd be screwed much more than I am. So that's the resistance here. And the target's going to be up to about 6.4 cents. What a beautiful time that would be for Velo. It's been way under massively valued. But yeah, it could consolidate now. It's had a 37% run. Kanto, it's good to see par all those losses. It had a nice move, consolidated a nice amount, and now it's back up about 10%. It's good to see that. Trying to reverse the entirety of this already. But it's still very early. This is a very early time here. It could reverse all of this if it gets hot, but it's early. It's early. I was just trying to go across the board real quick. What's XRP Health goes settling above 23? I'm surprised. I'm actually rather surprised. I thought it was going to drop just a tiny bit lower. Because it keeps doing this. I want it to back test this. Do you guys see what I'm talking about? I think it needs to finish off. Oh, it already did it. Good. In the last 2-hour candle, perfect. I didn't know it came down this far. It back tested the downtrending support now on the breakout. So theoretically, it's doing exactly what it needs to do. And the next level would be back up to 29. But it's got a huge technical move up. A really big one. If this holds. And it's been a long time in the making. So I'm watching a lot of things. It actually gets rather exciting here. Rather exciting. But let's go over while we have time together, because I've already been babbling on for 30 minutes. Can you believe that, Julie?
Really?
Doesn't feel like it, though, does it? How's it going?
I'm debating if I'm going to give milk soon.
I mean, it's almost 9 o'clock. How's he doing? Is he just chilling?
Yeah, he's in his chair.
He's in his chair?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the heat signature map, Bitcoin took out this entire liquidity. Was anybody in here this morning? What is going on here? It's all locked. Oh, there we go. It's like locked up. Was anybody in here this morning for the live, out of curiosity? We're going to the monthly. But we talked about the big Nunya. All right. So you remember. Nunya remembers then. And Jorge, Justin, Crazy Pole, Jaden, Kryptonian also welcome. I haven't seen you. I don't think your name yet. And Mark, thank you both for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XP Predictor. 777, DW Brown, Alice Anthony, and Craig. Thank you, all three of you, for being in your first month in Tom's Army with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. I love it. Love that show of support. Man, it is really locking up here right now. I wonder what's going on. So, hopefully I'll be able to show this. Sometimes when there's high volume on this app or on this site, it gets really interesting. It gets frozen a lot. And I'm going to say right now, there's probably a lot of people looking at this map. But we talked about how going up to about 106,500 area and then more, there was a lot of liquidity to be taken out. Look how much liquidity we took out. We went to all-time highs now. We created a new all-time high. Remember all this level earlier? Remember all these levels? Oh, it's at 700 million. We took out all of this liquidity. It's insane. It's insane. There's still some up here though. Like don't get me wrong. If you get back up here, but we took out like $7 to $9 billion in this little run. It's insane. It is crazy. It's time you scare me so bad with the XRP Uphold talk. I moved 40,000 of XRP. Oh, I didn't get to read the rest of that. You moved your XRP. Well, I'm just saying, anybody who's got XRP there, I'm not trying to scare anybody. It's just like I told my story that I've been telling secretly, but I was more blunt about it today for whatever reason. What happened in April and why my money's off of in any totality. But unfortunately, they have still not released 1,000 of my XRP, and at the time it was worth $380 roughly, or $400, and now it's worth, $2,400. So, or 2,440, and still, I've shown what it says. Just doing other things while I listen. I appreciate that, Papa Wheelie. I do appreciate that. Let's see. What was I going to look at now? I was going to look at something. Shoot. I grabbed my phone for a reason. Well, that's okay. So that's the liquidation map right there. And then if we look at totality of liquidations, in totality, it's one thing, but I'm interested in XRP right now. I guess Bitcoin too. I want to see how accurate this is with some of the exchanges. Yeah, see, it's only going to show the couple of exchanges that it shows. But XRP, I want to see what it shows right now. If it was shorts or longs getting this shed. Not too bad. Not too bad, honestly. XRP liquidations. Because I have one other one that I like to look at. I like this one. This one kind of breaks it down from a few other exchanges so we can kind of see who's winning the battle. I like to see who's winning the battle. Open interest on the futures was up 41% today. That's a lot in the futures side. Funding rates, I assume, are positive. Some negative funding rates on OKX and Binance. Liquidations for XRP in the last 24 hours. This isn't every exchange, but this is some of the top exchanges. So you've got 4.6 million in liquidations and longs, 4.1 million in shorts. So it was pretty split. That's pretty split. Long to short ratio, we've got, let's see, 2.31 to 1 longs versus shorts. So there's 69.7% of people that are going long in the futures market compared to 30.24% going short in the 5-minute and the 30-minute, 4-hour, and daily, 69.67% going long, 30.33% going short on XRP in the futures, and in the hourly, 2.29 to 1, 69.64% going long, 30.36% going short. So an overwhelming favorite going long at about 2.3 to 1 ratio. So that's a big differential. So, I mean, the numbers are suggesting more people have a favorable view of it going higher, which is not a bad thing. More liquidity is going to tug, and there's enough going short to where we can continue to garner liquidity as we go up. A ratio of over 30% going short is fantastic. Some people might not think that, but now we're gaining liquidity as we go up because people are continuously putting in short bets. If it said 95% of people were going long, it would go the other way. As long as it maintains over a 1/3 ratio going short, we're beautiful. That's just how I interpret it. I agree, Nick. It feels like that, doesn't it? And Ethereum's going to try to give us an opening here, as we've talked about for a few weeks. I think Ethereum Classic's a real unique play here as well, because I have a few $1,000s just in a spot position, letting it ride. Been in it for a few days, just seeing if it'll break out of this pattern formation that it seems like it's very well trying to right now. And I have a short target just to come right here, you know, and retap that area. And then eventually it's going to come up here, I know, to $40. And then I think eventually, though, Ethereum Classic, and this is why it's just going to sit for a while. I want to see it eventually break out of this cup it formed, get to the upper area of the max cup, and it's about right here at 77. And then I would like to see it start to push up here. But the only way it can do that is if Ethereum gets free. The only time Ethereum Classic ever goes and to these unrealistic heights, it seems, is when Ethereum starts running unopposed, because some of the money trickles, and it's the same theory. You've got Ethereum Classic, and people will say it's the gold to silver, same thing over again. People will see Ethereum and say it's too expensive, but I can buy actual share or tokens, the whole value of it, by buying Ethereum Classic. And it's got a lot more than that as far as utility. I've always argued that Ethereum Classic I'm more of a fan of than Ethereum, if I had to have one or the other. But I don't really want either. It's just I like to kind of ride things that kind of go against the grain a little bit sometimes. So I think we're in an interesting stretch right now. It's the reason why I came back on here this evening. I seem to always find myself doing a live on Sunday nights. Even though on Saturday and Sundays now, for about the past month, I switched doing updates on the weekend, and I just do that live in the morning. And we spend about an hour today. I think it was about an hour and 15 minutes together today. Same time about yesterday. But we get to stay closer in the market. I'll probably start moving my stuff next week. I moved all my crypto off today and had zero. Good. I'm glad you guys didn't have any issues. That's all I'm hoping for. Has my H-bar and something else locked up, no trans. See? There's one that's acting like mine. There you go. Papa Wheelie has his H-bar and something else locked up, no transfer. Same with my 1,000 XRP. Like I said, they let me take 14,000 in totality off. But for some reason, they would not let me take that 1,000 off. I couldn't understand it at the time, and I still don't understand it now. And it's actually in Julie's name, that account. That's Julie's account. That was her Uphold account too. And she's paid tax returns for, I think, 3 years on hers as well. So, you know, that was actually her account. So when I'm speaking from personal experience. That's my significant other. So, and she's got all the proof in the world. She's not, and it's basically BS. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, so I just put the warning out that that's what's happened to me. I've been talking about it since April, but I was more vocal in the last couple days. It's gone up almost 5% in the last 4 hours. I have not been watching very closely to ADA, my friend. I apologize. Still here, St. Louis. Excellent. Tom, did you ever buy XCN? No. The only reason I didn't is because I'm more about just having something sit forever. And it's not that I didn't think it was going to break out, because it looked like it could. It looked like it could do some decent things in the short term. But I like to... my whole portfolio is based around holding certain things that have met certain requirements. And it has to either be ISO or IoT compliant, or it has to be a app or some kind of smart accessibility that gives you functionality into the Internet of Things. So it has to advance what you're already doing and be compliant at least. And, You know, it just didn't, at this very time, it just didn't meet the mark. Although I was very tempted, I won't lie. But with that temptation, I just bought more, as I told everybody. I bought a little bit more DGB. So, one of my personal babies, I have like 630,000 tokens now. So, if anything, you know, I have more DGB. And I don't mind having more DGB. I never had an issue. Oh, yeah, the highway robbery is second to none on Uphold. That kicked me in the nuts in 2021 when I sold my XRP. On the bear market, when I knew it was coming, and it cost me almost $800 to sell my, what, $14,000 off? $15,000. So that was a hard lesson for sure. Very hard lesson, knowing that if I was on like BITUNIX, it would have cost me $30 freaking dollars, not $800 for that price. You live and you learn. Because all I would do now is I would send it to BITUNIX, and I would sell if I had to sell my stuff, if I could. And then I would keep it in Tether, and I would send it over to crypto.com, and I would put that Tether into my crypto.com Visa card. And then $200 a day I could take out for no fees, and then I can spend it at any rate I want. So that's what I would do. The cycle may peak around the new moon. Tomorrow is not new moon, next new moon. You're right. It's at the end of the year, the next new moon. So I think we're setting up for a Christmas. I mean, it's going to be a nice Christmas, it feels like. Think about it. The way this cycle is going, the fact that Ethereum right now, if it stays on the north side of 4,000, that's all we need to, that's what we're looking for. That's our first signal that something big could happen here. So I don't know how many people seen this. This is, I don't want to really talk about it, but I guess we should. RLUSD at $1,200. Ripple exec names reason behind sky high price. You know, everybody, I don't know if they just think we're complete jackasses at this point. If they really think we're this stupid. But what they're trying to do is two things here. One, I see a whole lot of, and this is the XRP price that they're saying, but one, RLUSD, everybody, and I've seen a lot of people and influencers starting channels or talking about this, and I've seen it on social media, and I've seen people that are going to sell their XRP to buy into the RLUSD stablecoin because it's at $1 and they think it's going to skyrocket. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't understand what a stablecoin is, please hear me out for 1 second. A stablecoin, in XR in Ripple's case, especially with the RLUSD, is meant to be pegged 1-to-1 to the US dollar. What that means is it must stay at $1. So if I throw $1,000 in RLUSD, it's meant to stay stable. My $1,000 should never be anything other than $1,000 until I'm ready to use it. If it goes too high, it's bad. If it goes too low from pairing, it's bad. It means it depegs. If it depegs, it's shit. Like USDT always does, it's shit. Just like Terra Luna did, it's shit when it depegged. It's pegged 1-to-1 to the US dollar, which means it is $1. I've said this since before. I've said it forever. It's not a trading token. It's where you would put your money in. Like if I have money sitting on the side, I'm not putting it in USDC anymore. It will go in RLUSD. So don't think you're going to trade it to try to make big bucks. I mean, and there's some people that are talking about this like this is their plan. Like, are you kidding me? Anyhow, David Schwartz, Chief Technology Officer at San Francisco-based blockchain firm Ripple, has cautioned the XRP community that there might be a supply shortage of the new RLUSD stablecoin. This comes after Zamex, a popular XRP wallet, started showing XRP being priced at a whopping $1,200. Ladies and gentlemen, we would be chameleonaires. Schwartz has confirmed that someone is indeed willing to shout such an exorbitant amount of money for a tiny fraction of a single token. He has explained that somebody probably wants the honor of purchasing the first bit of RLUSD. Schwartz has assured the community that the price of the stablecoin will stabilize shortly after its launch. If it doesn't, something is very seriously wrong, he said. The Ripple exec has also cautioned against FOMOing into the much-hyped stablecoin, warning that this is not an opportunity to get rich. This is what I'm talking about. The fact that it's a stable coin. Like, I don't understand. When they printed $2 billion of Tether through the Tether treasury, did the Tether price rise? No. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's be smarter than this. And if we're not, let's listen up here and understand what's going on. Like, you're not getting rich off of the stablecoin. It's quite the opposite. It's going to maintain your wallet while you're trading in crypto when you're on the sidelines. Capiche? According to Schwartz, the price of the stablecoin will stabilize very quickly following its long short-term changes in prices due to shortages of supply or demand are certainly possible, especially around launch, but they shouldn't remain for very long as arbitrageurs rapidly fix the market, he explained. As reported by You Today, the stablecoin was recently greenlit by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Ironically, at the same time that the European Union, just days earlier, maybe the day earlier, announced that they were delisting USDT in the Eurozone. So if you fall within the European, I suppose, Union, but if you're on European exchanges, the USDT will be delisted on December 31st. Ironically, Ripple, from doing their business with like institutions, banks, and large investors, 20% of all volume created by USDT, and you can research this yourself, 20% of all volume ever created in the USDT stablecoin is through Ripple. So how convenient that the Eurozone, which I would imagine is about 20% of that volume in the USDT stablecoin, I would imagine, that Ripple now is going to release their RLUSD stablecoin, and right after that happens, the New York Department of Financial Services, which was dragging their feet, all of a sudden had a change of heart and did this. So now you've got all that liquidity there. I did look at Velo, but we can look at it very quickly one more time after I go back. Velo's had a phenomenal day, up better than 30% on the day. If you combine it from the last hours to this hour. I do not own SHX at this current time. It's not on my exchanges, to my knowledge. It is believed that the stablecoin is going to be officially launched in the near future after getting a significant regulatory boost. You're welcome, Kay. Mr. Landon. Ripple's new stablecoin product was initially announced by the company back in April. So I felt that there was a need for me to do this, okay? But it is absolutely going to increase the demand for XRP. I like that. I really do. And a lot of people have asked me about the Ripple IPO. I can assure you that we will together invest in the Ripple stock, okay? When it's time to talk about it, I'm going to cover all avenues, not just XRP on the crypto, but if we got to get into the stock market to buy the Ripple IPO, we're going to. You know, when it IPOs. So we'll figure it out as it goes. But I don't want to talk about that right now. We got a lot more to talk about as we can see the XRP price. You can convert XLM to SHX on the wallet. That is good to know. XRP EVM sidechain, driving demand for XRP. When you do those transfers, you pay for gas and XRP, so the XRP holders are still going to benefit because you burn some XRP. That was my argument too. That even if XRP is only a gas token, by the incoming surge of demand, not just on the ledger, but remember, the RLUSD is going to be on the Ethereum network, on their blockchain. So it's going to be easy for some to cash out of Ethereum side of town, the EVM or whatever they call it. But it'll be easy for them to send money over to the ledger now on that side of town if they want to get it off of the Ethereum side. So remember that. That's going to also bring a surge. But right now, this is that nonsense we talked about when this live started, to be honest. That we could very possibly come down to the uptrend here and try to get that support. Remember, we talked about how we have a lot of comfort when we come back to the uptrend. So if it comes back down, we're looking at somewhere around $2.34. And then, like, it's Sunday, so I'm going to have to call this a night here in about a minute or two because I know Julie's waiting for me. And our son was sick and stuff, so today's doing a little bit better. But his fever broke, but we're not going to send him to school tomorrow. We're going to give him a day off because we don't want to get anybody sick and stuff like that. But I got to go help them. But I'm fortunate she gave me 50 minutes here so that I could come back a second time today. But real quick, Velo, up 3% since the flip, but it was up much higher. It was up much higher. It came up to 3.5, but I'm saying it was up much higher because on the start of the day, we were down here at Where we at? Somewhere around 1.5. Not today. That was in November, not today. The heck is... Oh, here we are. We're down at 2.3. So we've had a nice little move here up to 3.4. If we break out of this, our target is still 6.4 cents. But we have to get above... Sorry, let me put this real quick. You're looking for this. If you see it above 3.6 cents, it opens up the target to 6.4 cents in time. But I'll caution everybody with this, with Velo. The moment it breaks out, I almost can see it in my head. It's going to do this initially, and then it's going to come back down, and then it's going to surge out. So it's probably going to come... It's either going to come up here initially, or it's going to get stopped right here initially, and then it's going to... But either way, I believe it's going to come up to 6.3 cents in time. We just have to be patient. And we'll see how that plays out over time. But I have to go, everybody. Julie's waiting for me. I appreciate each and every one of you. I really do thank each and every one of you. And we'll be back tomorrow morning.